Today's video topic is all about new player fame farming. That means you make a brand new character completely unassisted, or maybe it is assisted with a friend, or even assisted with a guild. What is the fastest way to get the fame? Obviously, it would be to join a guild and have a whole bunch of people just run you through Avalonian raids, right? Well, I don't have that kind of data, but I do have plenty of data on several different methods, and that's what this video is going to talk about today. First up is the Yellow Zone open world mob grinding method. This is where you just go to any yellow zone and then you just grind mobs. You eventually faction flag up whenever you can. As a new player, you won't be able to for your first few hours. This makes you about 120,000 in dropped silver per hour. These are numbers with the 3 days of premium that you get as a new character. So it's pretty darn good. 2 million fame per hour is hard to beat when you're a brand new character. Next up is boosting, which means having a very strong maximum spec player in full 8.4 Shadow Caller gear take you, as a new player, to a tier 4 static zone and just mass AoEing down all of the mobs. Also being given a 4.3 satchel and millions of silver for the satchel cost. This is actually worse. It's only slightly worse. It's very close to 2 million fame per hour, but it does drain 1 million silver every 1 hour and 30 minutes. So it's not as good as just solo mob farming, but you could technically fame up a new player who uses a non-PvE weapon, you know, like a double-bladed staff or a healing weapon of something like that. Now, this next data set I have taken from months of stream VODs from Red Zone gankers, and what this is they go and they do a tier 6 Red Zone static farm. And I have looked at the fame that they gain as they do their static farm and how long it takes for them to do it. This is a 5-man or larger group, and on average they make 1.89 million fame per hour doing this. And the reason why it's less than the other methods is because there's 5 of them, and Red Zones, while they do give more fame, they don't give much more fame. And also, they're doing this without satchels, by the way. I just want to point that out. With satchel, this would probably be the superior method. And they are wearing 8.4 gear, which is absolutely insane. But because there's so many of them in a group, they are pretty much protected from gankers. Now, if you ask Reddit, or even if you ask the community managers, the people, the employees that work at Albion Online, Sandbox Interactive, what the best fame farm method in the game is, they will tell you that it is soloing Avalonian roads. And let me tell you, while some YouTubers have claimed it at 2.5 million per hour, that's totally fine and reasonable and believable. However, if you're a brand new player, you have to factor in the time of the tutorial and, you know, being crappily geared and all that stuff. But essentially, here are the numbers from 0 spec to 100 spec. Now, this is kind of a different sample size than the other ones. The other ones are pretty much per hour. But if you were to just make a new character and go straight to Avalonian roads as soon as you can afford to, and as soon as you are strong enough to, this is the numbers that you can expect if you were to go from 0 mastery to 100 in a weapon. So you make 1.225 million fame per hour, and you generate 140.5 thousand silver per hour. And let me tell you why this isn't entirely bad, but the problem that I have with this method is that a new player absolutely can't do this because they don't have the game knowledge. They don't have the PvP knowledge because you have to fight off gankers. You actually have to do some ganking yourself to be able to afford your starter gear sets. But besides all of that, here's why it's not the worst method compared to Yellow Zone farming. Now, this screen, we have a lot of data to talk about. I'm just going to throw it on there. So if you Yellow Zone gather on a new character, you can expect to make about 200,000 silver per hour. And the text is a little big. Let me shrink-a-dinky it down a little bit. Mob grinding on a new character is 2.093 million fame per hour, and from silver pickups alone, not item drops, 120,000 silver per hour. Comparing Avalonian farming on new characters, this is tests that I have done, tests that other YouTubers and streamers have done in their Zero to Hero challenges, and I have compared their murder ledgers to get all of this data and their videos and the time they've spent in their videos, the time played on their characters. To get to 100 mastery, you need 14.75 million fame about. Rounded, okay? It's not exact, but it's rounded. And if you grind yellow zones, it's going to take you 7 hours with no risk, no stress, no paying attention, no having your eyes peeled at the corners of your screen uh, to do this, and you're going to make 845,676 silver from silver pickups on average. I've done this multiple endless times. Now, the Avalonian Road Farmer, it's going to actually take them 12 hours to reach 100 mastery, and let me tell you, this is from character creation to tutorial to being able to even step foot in an Avalonian road to getting the gear to fight off, gankers and be able to take on the Avalonian Road bosses. So it's the numbers are a little bit smaller because of that. Whereas on the yellow zone tests, yes, it's just you go to a yellow zone and then that's when the timer starts. Because you can do that with most builds, you don't need to build up to it. And also, all these Zero to Hero Avalonian farmers, too, they're all extremely experienced players who know exactly what they can and can't fight. They're playing during the deadest of hours on West, so there's far less gankers. Like, East players can't dream of doing this. You go to the roads on East, you're getting zerged down. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. But, anyway, in the best possible circumstance for these Avalonian road farmers, it takes them 12 hours from character creation to reach 100 mastery, which is not the record. The record is a streamer who later became a game master for Sandbox Interactive, who did it in 9 hours through purely going to the black zone and using his mount as a tank and just burning through mobs. That's the fastest I've ever seen someone do it. You can technically do it in 7 hours in yellow zones. I haven't done it in a single stream or a single setting, but it is possible. Anyway, so in that time too, these Avalonian road farmers, based on their murder ledgers, deaths, and kills, and those that showed all the loot they got from the Avalonian road chests, and just looting players that they've killed, they earn about 1.685 million silver, which is about 140.5 thousand silver per hour, and that's also considering all the might and favor that they get, and then they go and spend the favor on buying Siphon Energy. Alright, now, so they technically earn more than this, but you have to factor in their deaths. And when they die with their expensive gear sets, because they need expensive gear sets, like 300 to 400k per gear set, to even do the Avalonian roads, that is how much silver that they average out to be. So it's comparable. Like, people will tell you, oh, Avalonian roads are better. They'll tell new players to go Avalonian roads. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Just sit in the yellow zones, just chill, just farm, listen to anime, listen to music. You can burn way more hours. And yes, mate, you won't get the thrill of PvP. If you're some sort of weird masochist that likes being hunted down like a prey animal, like you want to be reborn into a bunny rabbit and get shot by an arrow from a starving hunter, be my guest. But most of us don't enjoy that kind of gameplay. We don't want to be killed. We don't like losing. We don't like having our stuff taken from us. If a new player is playing this game for the first time, they don't have MMORPG experience, they don't have, like, MOBA experience, like League of Legends or Dota, and they lose 400,000 silver on a gear set because some Redditor told them to go to the roads, they're going to quit. They're just going to quit, because 400,000 silver, assuming they even know how to gather 200k per hour, that's a loss of 2 hours of their life. 2 hours gone. Now, a lot of these YouTubers and streamers doing these Zero to Heroes, they have a big bankroll. They have main characters that can make them way more silver per hour. They have huge amounts of money. They have fan funding. So it doesn't matter if they die. They don't care if they die. But when you're a brand new player with nothing to your name, you don't have laborers, you don't have farms, you don't have premium, you don't have anything, any kind of passive income, you don't have high specializations or good gear for gathering, you are screwed if you die in the Avalonian roads. And so for my reason for that alone, like, you can see the data. The yellow zone is still faster and better and more efficient in the long run. You save like 4 hours of time, and that snowballs if you play the game for months or even years. I'm not even joking. Alright, and the way the yellow zone grinding works is eventually you get to the point where you can solo statics. And once you hit that point, you are so propelled so much further ahead of every other player in the entire game that you're going to leave them in the dust spec-wise. Like, if me and another person starts out and they start farming the red and black zones in the Avalonian roads, and I just chill in farming in the yellow zones, they may or may not pull ahead of me. But eventually, I'm going to hit the point where I can start soloing statics, and then I will just Like, it's like I hit the NOS, like in a race car movie. I'm just like, I just like blast past those people, and to the point of they can't even, I'm lapping them. Like, say it's a racetrack, I am 3 to 4, laps ahead of them. It's over. They have to concede. There is no contest. They can't keep up. And this is assuming best case scenario where they don't die and they win every fight. They still can't keep up. It doesn't matter how much luck they have or how much skill they have. I'm just sitting here listening to anime, smashing mobs into static, and I'm way far ahead of them. So for new players and experienced players, there's still no reason to go do Avalonian roads. And yes, this is testing the new Avalonian road changes, not the old ones. So they're still bad. Like, they're still not good enough. They need to either buff the fame in red, black, and Avalonian roads, or they need to what was I saying? They need to nerf the fame you get in blue and yellow zones. And if they do that, if they nerf the yellow zones, the blue zones, the static zones, more people will just quit. More people just won't play the game. So there's no real winning in this situation. Anyway, that's all I got. If you're a new player and you're reading these Reddit posts and you're watching these YouTubers and streamers and they're telling you to go farm Avalonian roads using a very specific build set, you can. There's not too much harm in it, but you're going to be losing money, you're going to be losing time when you could just chill in the yellow zones and be more efficient. But if you're not the kind of gamer to just chill and space out and, listen to music, maybe the yellow zones aren't for you, and if you need that high-octane action, if you somehow get off and have good feels in your brain whenever 10 players run you down and kill you and waste hours of your life, then go to the Avalonian roads, have fun. That's the video. I'm SoulBG. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro, stay swole. Listen, if you made it this far in the video, I'm going to tell you right now, there are way better videos available for you to watch, but you have to become a channel member. It's $5 a month. Right down here where my cursor is bouncing, there is a join button. Go ahead and click that. You know how on Twitch, when people subscribe to a channel for $5? Well, here on YouTube, it's called channel membership, and you get access to private and more personal videos. There is a playlist of members-only content. You can browse the playlist, and if there's something that interests you, feel free to become a channel member. It does support me. It keeps these videos ad-free, so that you're not getting, told to buy stupid VPNs and crap. And that alone should be a reason to subscribe. Or not subscribe, become a channel member. Make sure you're subscribed, though, which is free, so that you don't miss the next Albion video. And on the right side of your screen, right now, there's a video that you should absolutely click. And if you do click it, I guarantee you that the next time you run a dungeon, you'll get a legendary chest.